On a cold winter night in December 2000, the heart of India was struck by terror. The Red Fort in New Delhi, a monument that stands as a symbol of freedom and power, echoed not with the voice of history that night, but with the sound of an explosion. It was December 22, 9 p.m. Inside the fort, soldiers of the Rajputana Rifles Regiment were changing shifts. Without warning, gunfire erupted, followed by a powerful blast. 3 men, 2 army Jawans and a civilian guard, were killed on the spot. The attackers vanished into the dark streets of Delhi, leaving behind confusion, fear, and a mystery that still haunts the nation. The Red Fort has always been more than just stone and walls. It is where India celebrates its independence every year, where the Prime Minister raises the flag. To strike here was not merely to kill, it was to send a message to the entire country. In the days that followed, panic spread. The media called it an attack on India's soul. Security forces sealed off the area. Every clue, every fragment of evidence was examined. The investigation soon pointed to a name, Lashkar-e-Taiba, a Pakistan-based militant group already known for orchestrating cross-border attacks. But what was their motive this time? And how did they manage to breach one of the most secure locations in India? Police later claimed that the man behind the attack was Mohammad Arif, also known as Ashfaq, an alleged member of Lashkar-e-Taiba. He was said to have entered India under a false identity, lived quietly in Delhi, and coordinated the assault from within. When he was finally arrested, investigators recovered weapons, fake documents, and communication traces linking him to handlers across the border. In 2005, the Delhi High Court found him guilty and sentenced him to death. For many, it seemed like justice had been served. The story appeared complete, until people began to look deeper. Over the years, several questions emerged. Some argued that the evidence used in court was circumstantial. Others said key witnesses changed their statements multiple times. Strangely, the CCTV footage from that night showed little clarity. How could an attack of this magnitude leave behind so little proof? And why was there no trace of the other attackers who allegedly entered with Arif? Not one was ever caught. Not one body was ever found. Journalists, lawyers, and independent researchers began questioning the investigation. Some believed that the case was rushed, that confessions may have been extracted under pressure. Others suspected that larger forces were at play, forces that preferred a quick conviction over uncomfortable truths. In 2014, the Supreme Court upheld Arif's death sentence, calling it a rarest of rare case. Yet, the mystery remained. Was Arif truly the mastermind, or merely a pawn in a much larger story? For the families of the victims, the pain never ended. They were told justice was done. But deep inside, they knew the answers were incomplete. The questions too many. The truth too distant. The Red Fort still stands proudly in the heart of Delhi. Every year, thousands of people walk its ancient grounds, unaware of the blood spilled there on that December night. The stones remain silent, but those who remember say that the echoes of that blast can still be felt in the evening wind. The story of the Red Fort blast is not just about terrorism. It's about power, politics, and truth, how they intertwine and how easily truth gets buried when nations are afraid to face it. Some call it an open and shut case. Others believe the real story never made it to the courtroom at all. What truly happened that night remains one of India's most controversial mysteries. Was it a planned terrorist act? Or was it something far more complicated, hidden behind the curtain of national security? Even today, more than 2 decades later, the answers are buried under layers of secrecy. The official version says the case is closed. But for those who seek truth, the silence speaks louder than the verdict. History remembers the explosion, but it forgets the unanswered questions. And maybe, that's exactly how it was meant to be.